stop being so freaking lazy and start selling more. You need to sell more. You need to be out there selling constantly. I'm totally kidding. Because let's be real, you have all of these like finance bros telling you, you need to be up at 5:30 in the morning. You need to be selling for 18 hours a day. You need to be doing this constantly. But guess what? You don't. And I'm proof of that because I work like a few hours a week, okay? You don't have to be constantly in sales mode to sell and to make money. If you don't know me, I am Kate Hall. I have made a ton of money selling on social media. I have books that are like smutty fiction books. I'm a fairly well-known author. I actually just signed with an agent for some trad deals, which we're really freaking excited about, and it's because I can sell. So let's first talk about this idea that if you're not working super hard all the time because you're tired or you have a real fucking job and you're trying to do this hustle in between your real job, sorry for all the noise, there's a busy road. So maybe you are a busy parent. You've got a lot going on, especially if you're a primary parent. I did it for a year with a new baby and it was horrible. I love my kids so very much, but being the primary parent is so much work, right? What do you actually need to do in order to sell, in order to make real money with your business, right? Whether you're selling your books on Amazon or you're doing something else, I want you to learn how to be consistent while also being okay with being lazy. So, the laziness myth. I was told growing up that I'm lazy. I need to stop being lazy. This wasn't necessarily by my mom, who understood about half the time that I wasn't being lazy, I was tired, right? But then there were other people in my life that would tell me that I was being lazy, but really I was perpetually exhausted because of the fact that I am neurodivergent. My brain was using all of this extra energy on the fact that I'm neurodivergent and trying to like survive in a world that is made for neurotypical people. So I was constantly exhausted and it came out as laziness. It came out as I don't have the energy to do this. Or it came out as executive dysfunction where I would want to do a thing. Basic shit, right? Things that I wanted to do. I would want to do things that I even enjoyed, but I was paralyzed in bed because I couldn't bring myself to move because again, my neurodivergence made me exhausted, made everything so much worse. Combine with that, the dopamine chasing factors of ADHD, and I struggled so much with trying to do things that I was supposed to do that I didn't want to do, that I struggled to do. Things like doing basic chores, which now as an adult, things that I have to do that have to get done in my house, like this shit still has to get done, but guess what? I still don't do it. I used to try really hard to do this stuff, but eventually I started making enough money where I didn't have to do it anymore. I pay someone to show up at my house and clean. I pay someone to do customer service for my business because it's fucking exhausting, right? So instead, I get to do the things that I'm passionate about. But obviously, if you don't have the money for that kind of thing, if your business isn't making you enough money to pay someone to do this stuff, you need to figure out how to do it for now in a way that's maybe not super sustainable or maybe not perfect, but a way that will work. So let's talk about how I actually sell consistently despite not being a very consistent person. The first thing is that I'm always batch creating my content. I make all of my content at once so that then I can get it all done at the same time so I have content ready for a long period of time. You might have noticed, if you are subscribed to me, I haven't posted for a while before this video. And that is because I had ran out of batch content, but then I had a conference in Florida to go to where I was talking about books and selling books on social media, and I had run out of my batch content. But now I have a bunch of new content from that trip and from doing all of that. So that is coming, I swear. If you want to learn about the exact type of content I batch and how I do it to run my business and make a metric fuck ton of money with my business, make sure to check out the link in the description. Jesus, this is not a sidewalk. Even when I'm batch creating content though, I have to find the motivation to do the thing and to not have an anxiety attack every time I have to record. That one I'm still not perfect at. I still struggle with getting started with recording, but it does get better as you go, just like FYI. So the best way that I have learned to make lazy content that sells is to make content using your face, building a personal brand, because this way you are getting people attached to you and the idea of you and your brand and what you're selling. And if you have a strong personal brand, it's going to help you very significantly. And also, before you get started, like if you're going on YouTube or TikTok or something, I highly recommend batching content for at least 90 days before you ever start posting. Get 90 days of batched content, so then you have 3 months to get fucking motivated again and start posting again if you run out of energy or if you've got shit going on. But what does 3 months of content look like? Well, for YouTube, that is, I would say 12 weeks, but that's 3 sets of 4 weeks, when really we know that 3 months is actually like a 5th week kind of thrown in there. So it's about 13 YouTube videos. So recording a 10, 15, 20-minute video while you're doing something and have good lighting and have good audio, you want to have about 13 pieces of things you're talking about. And you want that to be consistent. You want to be talking about the same thing over and over again, even if you're talking about it in a different way. So in one video, I might talk about going viral on TikTok as an author. And in another video, I might talk about the type of scripts that you need in order to sell more books, as an example. And then I might make another video that's all about the hook, that first 3 seconds that's super important for your content. It's also great to make content that people can relate to and that has a story and also education. Mixing educational and story content is a surefire way to get people to subscribe. Oh my God, you have a puppy. Can I pet your puppy? Is it okay if I vlog your puppy?
Sure.
Hi, I'm having a puppy on my walk. You're beautiful. I know, you can smell my new puppy too. Thank you, he's so cute. Puppy. Then when you're thinking about short form content, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, you need to be thinking in the long term. Make 90 days of videos. And that sounds really hard, but if you just sit and talk at your camera or at your phone for 10 minutes a day for like a little over a week, there are your 90 pieces of content, right? All you have to do then is cut and edit them together. Make sure you have good hooks. Make sure you have some sort of talking point for each thing you're talking about. And really, honestly, you only need like 4 good talking points and just talk about them slightly differently 90 fucking times. That is literally what I do for my content. And then I have a call to action. I'll be like, comment reels for this thing and this thing, which on YouTube, you don't need to comment unless you want to, because those things are in the description. Those like freebies and stuff that I give away. My TikTok for authors sales guide, my hooks that sell for short form video guide. Those are already in the description here. So you don't have to comment that. But if you have questions, if you're wondering, hey, I'm in this niche, what the hell do I even post about? Or these are my interests, what do I even post about? Make sure to comment and let me know, because I want to help you. I want to help you sell. I want women and I guess some men, but really like men, if you're watching, just if I say ladies, you know I'm also talking about you. It's kind of a genderless term here. So ladies, if you want to be making money, if you want to sell, make sure to comment your niche. Give me an idea of what you're talking about, whether you are writing smutty paranormal romance, or you have a poetry book, or you have just like a digital course offer, or you want people to consult with you because you're sick of working at a law firm. Comment. I'll give you some ideas on things you can actually post about. And remember, if you need more advice, if you need to know exactly how to do this and how I do this, make sure to check out the links in the description below.